Boom Chanka, how's it going everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Just turned into a Scotsman on Flying Pig United with a little video for you. Just a late one, just before I go to bed. I popped on Sky Sports and major breaking news headline is that Alexis Sanchez is possibly back on the cards to move into Inter Milan because Inter Milan's representatives are currently in the UK to discuss a transfer for Alexis Sanchez to Inter Milan from Manchester United. So I hope that is the case, to be perfectly honest with you. I know United didn't strengthen and we are a little bit light in that area. We've only really got Rashford, Martial and of course Sanchez in those roles. We've got Greenwood up there who can play up top there, but other than that, we're very, very light in those areas. So Alexis Sanchez, if he was to be a good player, would be quite a useful player to have around right now. But unfortunately, he's a bloody useless Bruno Mars impersonator. One of the worst signings Manchester United have ever made. Let's be perfectly honest now. Even though he was free, it didn't actually cost us a little amount, though. It cost us a huge amount of money in terms of signing on fees, in terms of bonuses, in terms of agent fees, and then it's cost us an absolute arm and a leg since then, literally £500,000 a week, which is just an insane amount of money to pay for any footballer, let alone one that is completely underperforming and is a shadow of the player that they previously were when he was at Arsenal, of course. When we signed him, amazing player, match winner, one of Arsenal's truly best players at the time. He was their best player. He carried Arsenal for a spell, but times change, and he got to that age, he got that bumper contract from United, and he took his mind elsewhere, playing the bloody piano, walking his dogs on the beach, entering Bruno Mars competitions, that sort of stuff, and that has cost him, in terms of his performances out there on the pitch. I don't think that it's just ever going to work out for Alexis Sanchez. I know recently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his press conference said about, he's part of the squad. We may need him. There's going to be games coming thick and fast. If there's any injuries, blah, 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 he will play. But I think he's just saying that for the sake of saying it, to keep everybody happy, keep everybody motivated, going in the right direction, not causing any problems, not ruffling any feathers. And really, if Manchester United want to get rid of Alexis Sanchez, or can get rid of him more importantly, let's be perfectly honest now, does anybody actually want him? Not for the sort of money that we pay him anyway. Because that's the problem. I mean, I know teams would take Alexis Sanchez, like Inter Milan, who are in England at the moment to discuss the transfer. But the price has to be right for them, absolutely. In terms of a transfer fee, I mean, I don't think United should be looking to get any sort of money whatsoever. Take it on the chin. Take it as a loss. We've paid him a lot of money out of this club. Take it on the chin. But it would just be so fantastic to get his wages off of the books, because it is completely sucking a lot of money out of the club. £500,000 a week. If we could get that off the books, it frees up money elsewhere. It frees us up to be able to sign another player in January, or maybe we could get something happen in terms of a player who's a free agent. But I don't know. It just hasn't worked out for Alexis. Now's the time. If this is true, I hope that Manchester United and Inter Milan can reach a deal for the sale of Alexis Sanchez, because he's a player that's just not going to work out at the club. And I think with the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to get this team playing in the direction we're going, everybody pulling together, lots of impetus on youth and emphasis on team spirit and hungry players, young hungry players, I don't think a mercenary like Alexis Sanchez, which I think is pretty much what he has shown himself to be since coming to the club, playing with a smile on his face, but not playing with the heart on the sleeve, unfortunately, not playing 100% to his abilities. And that's why it's not worked out for him, because of his own measly effort, in my opinion. He's got the quality, he's got the ability. You can see that when he plays for Chile, you can see it when he plays for Arsenal. No doubting that he was a quality player. But those were days gone by, man. For United, he's shown that he's just an absolute shit show of a player. So I don't think it's ever going to work out for the guy. If we could get a deal done, get him out of the club, that would be fantastic. I know we're light in that area. I do know that. But hopefully we can get somebody else. I'd rather sign Llorente. I'd rather sign Fernando Llorente as a backup striker as a free agent right now, just as a backup if we absolutely need him, than Alexis Sanchez. Because I think, Alexis Sanchez is a good player. Maybe you could utilise him as a forward. But where are you actually going to play him other than that? If Rashford gets injured, if Martial gets injured, fair enough. But otherwise, you've got players like Daniel James, you've got players like Jesse Lingard, of course, Martial Rashford and Greenwood's up there. I mean, I'd rather see the younger players, the players that have been featuring in pre-season and looking good, given opportunities over somebody like Alexis Sanchez anyway. Somebody who doesn't really deserve to be wearing that red shirt. So, yeah, I'm going to get into your comments now, guys. It was just I wanted to just make a quick video, jump on here to talk about it. The Alexis Sanchez saga, it continues to roll on. Inter Milan, if they're foolish enough to pay him anywhere near a few £100,000 a week for his services, then good luck to him. I mean, of course, they have got Lukaku, they've got some decent players there. Alexis Sanchez could slot in there, and it could just basically be like a complete Manchester United reject team. You know, hopefully they'll sign Pogba next. I mean, I don't know. And I'm just joking about Pogba because we bloody need Pogba right now. And I know I've not been his biggest fan, but we do actually need Paul Pogba right now because we didn't sign anybody in the transfer window to replace him or replace Herrera. So if we were going to lose Pogba, we'd have to get two midfielders in there, two top midfielders. And right now they're a bit hard to come by. So I'm not getting on Pogba anyway. So, yes, let's get into your comments, guys. I can see, even though it is currently 21 minutes past 1 in the morning here in the UK, there's a bunch of people who are still up. There's a bunch of people who are perhaps tuning in from far-flung corners of this earth. So thank you very much for taking the time to stop by on the live stream right now. Have your say on Alexis Sanchez. Have your say on whether you think this is a potential deal that is going to materialise. The big problem for everybody involved, in my opinion, before I get into your comments, is that because he's on such a big amount of money, it's not like he's going to say, okay, yeah, I'm not playing at Manchester United. I'll go and play over in Serie A for Inter, and I'll take a 50% wage cut. Nah, man. I would respect him to the end of the earth and back if he did, but he's not going to do that, is he? Because that's not how it works. He's got a contract. He's got the guaranteed money. Why would he do that? If it was any other job, you'd be foolish to do such a thing. So I'm not going to say that he would be an absolute mercenary or a complete tool bag for staying just for the money, because obviously he's trying to feed his family, he's trying to support his kids. He's already done that by sapping 500k a week out, but still, you can't say, oh, go and take a 50% wage cut. You wouldn't do it to somebody who works in an office or whatever. So Alexis Sanchez, I just think he's priced out of the market, basically, because of how much money he's paid. We would have to pay him a huge amount of money to go and play for somebody else. The figures of Alexis Sanchez's wages are somewhere around £450,000 to £500,000 a week. There's no way Inter Milan are forking out that sort of money, especially after adding players to their ranks this summer and increasing their own wage bill. They're not going to then go out there and pay Alexis Sanchez, who could be hit or miss. He's not. Although he's proven and a proven talent at this moment in time, he's not in a good run of form. He's not in a good vein of form. It's not a guarantee. It's not like you're going to guarantee to get a fantastic player that's just going to be a match winner and perform, because he's just not that guy. He hasn't shown that at all over the last 12 months. That's a significant amount of time to see how a player is doing, and at United he's not been doing it. I'm sure he'd probably do well elsewhere, and in Serie A, he'd probably have a great opportunity to do that. But there's no guarantees that you're going to get that. So you're not going to pay 500k a week for him. You might, at the very most, if you're going to get him for free, pay something around £250,000 a week. If you're a top club around Europe right now, that is a big amount of money to pay a player, any player. And Inter Milan, I don't think they really have the same wage structure and wage bill and expenditure and budget that a club like Manchester United does, or a club like even Liverpool does, I don't think, because I just don't think there's quite as much money in Serie A as there used to be, or like in the Premier League. So I've got a feeling that would be difficult. I think £250,000 a week would be difficult, even if there's no major upfront transfer fees involved. Just paying him that amount of money is going to be difficult for Inter Milan, and they're not going to do that. So what happens in that scenario then? Well, Manchester United, to get him off of our books, or at least get a little bit of our cash back, we have to take a hit. We have to then pay him a significant amount to go and play for another team for the remainder of his United contract. That's how it works. I wish I knew how long was left on the contract, but I actually don't. Somebody will inform me in the comment section, I'm sure. Hopefully it's not that long. But that is probably what Manchester United would have to do. And that's not a very smart business move, is it? To just give your asset away to somebody else and still pay them to play for somebody else. It's kind of crazy. It's like selling your car for nothing, giving your car away to somebody else, right? And then you're paying those bastards. They were paying for their insurance, you're paying for their road tax, you're paying for their petrol, you're paying for most of their shit, basically, to get them on the road in that car. And you don't get the pleasure of driving that car. It's actually a bit of a beta car now anyway, and it's definitely seen better days. Bit of rust under the hood. I just said under the hood. What I am. Only the Americans are watching anyway. Under the hood. So a bit of rust everywhere, and it's squeaking like a mofo, and it's just not performing like it used to. But even so, you're paying somebody over the odds to go and run that motor, and that's kind of what it's like if Manchester United let Alexis Sanchez go to Inter Milan, and we pay him, say, 300,000 or 200,000 or whatever it would be to go and play for somebody else. So I don't think Woodward, even though he has a complete clueless potato head, is going to make that foolish of a mistake. But we shall see. Ole Gunnar probably doesn't really want Alexis Sanchez around the club. He doesn't really fit in with the whole mentality and ethos and vibe that's going on right now, of, like I talked about at the start, of young, hungry players. It doesn't really fit that. He's a player who hasn't performed in a United shirt ever and may come in and probably do the same. At best, he's a backup right now. He doesn't fit in with Ole Gunnar's plans, in my opinion. He may say that he does, but I don't think that he really truly does. I don't think Ole Gunnar believes that. He's just saying that because he's smart. But Alexis Sanchez wants to play football. I'm sure about that. I just don't think that right now it's really going to happen for him at United. So who knows? Anyway, I think it's one of those things that could happen if the price is right for everyone involved. And that sounds crazy, but United paying £200,000 a week for Alexis Sanchez to go and not have a toxic influence in the dressing room and not have any sort of a negative impact within the squad might actually be the best option. And for Inter, if they could stump up £300,000 a week of his wages, then that might be a really good option for them, because he could just go there and be that great player that he was for Manchester United, but in Serie A and for Inter, get all that negative energy, get all that pressure off your back. You're at a new club, new start, new manager, new teammates, new players, new ground, everything's new, and it's a new slate, effectively. So, like Lukaku, I think Alexis Sanchez should do that. It's never going to work out for United, I don't think. We've seen that from him. If he was going to, he would have shown a lot more than he did, because he is a very good player. He's just mentally gone. Right, guys, I can see a bunch of you tuning in live here, so I'm going to read all your comments out now. Do us a favour if you're tuning into this live stream. Smack a cheeky little like on it. Subscribe if you're new here. But, yes, I haven't really had much chance to do too many sort of breaking news or anything Manchester United related over the last couple of days. Just been working a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed my little fire in the booth rap video. Thank you for all the love and comments on there. Actually, it's quite blown away by the amount of people that commented nice things. To me, it's just a bit of fun, bit of a joke. I'm going to do another one for the Crystal Palace game as well. Already started working on it. Just got a few little lines, but yeah. So thanks to everybody who enjoyed that. And if you haven't seen it, what have you been doing? Just search Wolves diss track preview and Fire in the Room #1 if you want to listen to me do a rap about Manchester United versus Wolves. Anyway, Lee Baz, hi Flying Pig, hi Lee Baz. Thanks very much for getting in here, Lee. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's very late. Glenn says, UFC stream Piggy, come on. Well, do you know what? I mean, it's a possibility, lad. It is. If I'm still awake, and, that's a big if, because I'm pretty damn tired. I do want to watch it, but realistically, the main card's not going to be on until like 5 a.m. I mean, I could go to sleep now and wake up around about that time, but there's a few fights that I want to see. Of course, I definitely want to see Paulo Costa versus what's his freaking face, man, Yoel Romero, and also Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis, and of course DC versus Stipe. So that would make an awesome little live stream if I just did the last 3 fights. We shall see. It may happen, it may not. Don't hold me to it. But thank you very much for your comment there. Glenn comments, Bruno Sanchez, yeah, I mean, he does have an unfortunate look-alike thing going on there with Bruno Mars. Unfortunately, he can't sing like him. He can't play the piano like him either. All he can really do is dance like him. That's basically it. And look like him, of course. Reese Q comments, get to bed, your nut job. I will do soon. It is very late indeed. But when there's breaking news on Sky Sports or whatever, I've got to come on and have a little chat about it, and I don't usually do this just for speculative stuff, but this is obviously something that's been rolling on for a while now. Apparently, I mean, let's have a look at the actual article here. So I'll read out the article for you. You can check it out yourself. But it's sort of breaking news a couple of hours ago. Inter Milan's representatives are in the UK to hold talks with Manchester United over the transfer of Alexis Sanchez, according to Sky in Italiano. So, we know he's sort of a one-to-way player, really. He didn't feature in pre-season at all. There's been lots of talks and lots of negotiations with Inter and other clubs previously in the window, before it shut anyway. Of course, the European transfer window is not shut, but while our window was open, there was talks. And, Conte is their manager. He's probably somebody that rates Alexis Sanchez, that knows Alexis Sanchez. So I think all the elements are there to suggest that Inter Milan want to try and sign Alexis Sanchez before the European transfer window closes. I think that's definite. Just whether or not we can come to a negotiation agreement with them, with terms and fees and things like that, it's going to be quite difficult because of the sheer amount of money that this lad is paid. It's a huge amount of money. And I just personally don't think they are going to reach that agreement anyway. But we shall see. RB Comps, how you doing? Comments, Dybala's goal today was seriously insane. Check it out, Piggy. Good shout, man. I haven't seen that yet. I'll definitely check it out. Also, haven't caught up with Match of the Day yet. I was going to watch it a little while ago. And then the crappy freaking news article came out about Sanchez, so I had to come on here and just have a chat about it. I don't know why it's crappy, but anyway. Alex Rudd, how you doing, mate? Thanks for stopping by in here. He comments and says, if you guys will get rid of Sanchez, it will be the best move since for Sir Alex Ferguson. Well, fair play. I mean, I do think that he is a negative impact in the dressing room at United now, just because he doesn't fit in with Ole Gunnar's whole view and the players and the hungriness and all that sort of stuff that we're trying to go for right now. The youth, the exuberance, the something to prove mentality, the fighter mentality. That's what we need more of. Players like McTominay, players like Maguire and Bissaka coming in there, really adding something to us in terms of character. Sanchez, on the other hand, he doesn't really add anything at all. Maybe he entertains the lads behind the scenes with little snippets of, 24 karat magic in the air and all that crap. But other than that, he doesn't really add a whole lot to the squad, I don't think. But yes, I mean, I think it's quite important, Alex, that we do get rid of Alexis Sanchez right now. If we can. He's sapping the life out of the club. He's sapping the money out of the club. It's just not worked out for him. When we signed him, we thought we were getting a great player. You can't really fault the club for signing him, apart from the amount that they were prepared to pay for him, because it completely ruined our whole wage structure and undermined some of the other players that are in the squad. That was a big mistake from Woodward. But other than that, you can't really fault us for trying to go and get a player of that caliber. It's just that it's clearly not worked out, and I don't think he's going to have much of a role in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's squad to even warrant paying a couple of £100,000 a week for. So it seems like the perfect opportunity for us now to cash in, or not even cash in, but just basically mortgage ourselves a little bit here. Remortgage. We're remortgaging this situation with Alexis Sanchez here, because we're going to have to pay him to play for somebody else, basically. That's the way I see it. That's what I think is going to be the problem in negotiations. But yes, I think that getting rid of Sanchez right now would be beneficial for the club. And it sounds crazy to say that, because he is a very talented player. He has been, in his day, a match winner in the Premier League. He's got proven experience, one of the most experienced players there is, actually, internationally. For Arsenal, the Premier League, La Liga. I mean, he's definitely got a lot of experience, but problem for him, it's just not worked out for him. Like Lukaku, just come to a dead end at United, basically, not the right fit. So thank you for your comment there, Alex. I'm going to go down and continue reading the bunch of comments in here. You troopers, you absolute true troopers who are tuning in right now. I expected there to literally be about 2 ghosts currently watching this live stream when I started it at 1:20 a.m. or whatever it was. So you're a bunch of legends for tuning in here. Some of you may just be going to bed if you're in the UK. Let me know if you are. Some of you may be just getting up if you're in Australia. Let me know if you are. And any of you Yanks, you're probably just about ready to have your 6th Boilermaker or whatever. Anyway, so Ian T comments, good morning, Pig. You forgot to put done deal in the title. I like it. I love it. Nice one. Little reference to some clickbait stuff going on there. I like it. Glenn comments, hashtag piss off, Bruno. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got to that got to that position now where I think it'd be beneficial for everybody involved if Sanchez just left Manchester United and allowed us to carry on and move on and forget the days where we're paying mercenaries for 500k a week. It's not working out. It didn't work out for us. I mean, Pogba still may leave at some point, but I cannot emphasize how important he actually is to us between now and the end of the season right now, because we don't have the replacements. Maybe in January, if he leaves, we need to bring in a couple of really good players, and they're hard to come by. Ryan says he just wanted the money. We missed a trick with Ben Yedder. Yeah, Ben Yedder seems like a very talented player, and anybody like that right now, whether it would be somebody like Pepe who's just gone to Arsenal, or whether it be somebody like Ben Yedder, would obviously have been a better option than Alexis Sanchez at the time, because we all know what happened with Alexis Sanchez. But I must say, he wanted the money, absolutely, and we missed a trick not signing somebody else. But at the time, it was almost like it would have been a great signing if he just carried on like he was at Arsenal, like Robin van Persie did. I know it's a totally different time. We had Sir Alex Ferguson, we had a much better team, whatever. But it still wasn't that great of a team. It wasn't one of Manchester United's all-time best teams when Robin van Persie came in, but it was enough to get us the title that year for Sir Alex's last. But that was a similar situation. We were buying Arsenal's best player, taking a valued player off of a rival, and improving our lot with their best match-winning player, their best goal scorer. And he always showed heart at Arsenal, so I don't really know what's happened with him. I just think that he's getting too much money. Maybe he's not happy. Whatever it is, he's truly not giving it his all. Alex Rudd says, Spurs lucky. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, mate, because, yeah, VAR prevails again. Kind of farcical, but the end of the game there, Man City have seem to be a legit goal ruled out. No other opposition players, no players on the pitch are protesting for any kind of infraction there. It just so happens that the VAR people watched it back and deemed that a handball had been committed there. And to be honest with you, it's one of those flash in the pan things. It's not clear cut enough to really say. So it kind of ruins the game of football and ruins the spectacle of City winning that game. But at the same time, it is kind of awesome because they both are our rivals. I know we're not really going to rival them for challenging for the Premier League title, but you've got a dream, don't you? But they are our rivals and they've both dropped points. I know in some ways for United it may have been better if City won it, because I think they're clear favourites to go on and win the league again, and United are just too far away. We're probably not going to be able to close that gap. But with Spurs, if they'd have lost and not got any points, obviously that would have been really good for Manchester United. But they've both dropped 2 points. I still think that's a fantastic result for United. It's a great result for any of the top teams really there. City have dropped a couple of points at home. VAR is the winner. Let's be real in this. So thank you very much for your comment there, bringing that up. Comment from Eilert Norville comments, Piggy, how's it going, chum? It's going very well, Eilert. I love your name. I'd love to know where it's from. I'm guessing Scandinavian. Get your response in, please, because that is an awesome name. I've never heard it before. Eilert Norville. That's a pretty freaking cool name. It reminds me of a name. Who was that? Who was that lad who used to play for Arsenal? Anyway. Bernardine says, sell him. He's not a United player. Another person who's not too keen on Alexis Sanchez at United. He's not a United player, is he? No. He's a bloody Arsenal cast-off. It's not really what he was at the time, actually, but he is obviously an ex-Arsenal player. His allegiances, I guess, were with Arsenal. Like I said in a recent video with Henry, it's like Arsene Wenger is like some sort of Skynet. And he has sent Terminator back from the future to mess Manchester United up. And that is Alexis Sanchez. Unfortunately, it's just not going to work out for him. I don't think he's a United player, so yes, do one. Kaz Raymond, how you doing, sir? Or lass? Comments, I can't see Inter paying his wages. Absolutely, I don't think that it's realistic that they would. They're not going to be able to pay anywhere near the amount that we pay for him, 500k a week. So like I say, it's just how much they can actually pay. Will United take a big enough loss? Will United be able to reach some sort of agreement with Sanchez, whether we pay him off a certain amount of the contract and allow him to move to Inter and get paid from them, or we continue to pay him until the end of the contract a certain amount of money, whether that be 150k a week, whether it be 200k a week, 250k a week, whatever it may be. The contract is so huge, there's no way Inter Milan are going to reach that amount. So United will have to stump up the rest and pay him till the end of the contract, unless they can pay off the contract altogether up front, in which case that is also a big shit ton of money. So I can't see them paying those sorts of wages either. Eilart comments, his wages ruin everything. Every other player wants more wages because they're doing better. Very, very true. I've said that 100 times in my videos before. You're completely right. When there's a player in the dressing room like Alexis Sanchez being paid that sort of money, it's obvious that players around him are going to look at him and say, this lad is underperforming. He's barely doing anything. He's not adding anything to the team. He's just sucking 500k a week out. I'm bloody Jesse Lingard. I'm paid 150k a week or whatever it is. I'm doing more for this with this squad. Suddenly, he's getting a bit bitty big bollocks and he wants more money. Or, like the Ander Herrera situation where he wants a few £100,000 a week because he thinks he adds a lot to United, which at the time when he was here, he absolutely did, more than Alexis Sanchez. And we're paying Alexis Sanchez 500k a week and we're saying, look, it's because he's a big global star or whatever and he's got this name and brand and he's like, well, yeah, but I'm Ander Herrera, I'm better for the team. Okay, well, PSG will pay me 300k a week and I can play in the Champions League. See ya! That's kind of what happened there, man. So, yeah, I fully agree with you. That's what happened at United because Manchester United overpaid for Alexis Sanchez and his wages. Woodward needs to hang his head in shame there because it didn't work out. It'd be easy to say the opposite if it had worked out for him. If he'd have justified it, then fair enough. But really, you cannot undermine the rest of the squad and you cannot destroy your wage structure at the club just for one player. And although we were getting him on a free, we've paid through the nose for him in one way or another. So, yeah, absolutely agree with you. Comment here from Scorpion Game Entertainment. Love it. Comments, thought I'd say it's better if we wait for January till we let him go. We already have a very thin forward line. Fantastic comment. Let's talk about that. You're absolutely right. We do. Who have we got up there? We've got Greenwood deputising for Martial up top there in the striker position. We sold Lukaku. Rashford's out there wide. We've got Daniel James, who I suppose could play advanced. We've got Jesse Lingard up there. But yes, you're absolutely right. In terms of forwards or strikers across that front line, we don't really have anybody if there is an issue in this squad. If Rashford gets an injury, if Martial gets an injury, we've got Greenwood coming in there. 17-year-old Greenwood who looks great. But is he ready right now to step up? I do think that he is going to feature under Ollie in the Premier League a fair bit because of what he said in pre-season, the pre-season Mason had, and the skills that he's displayed, and if you're good enough, you're old enough. So I do think that he will play, but still it's a big if whether he's really ready to fire in those goals for United in the Premier League. And if there is a problem with Martial, injury-wise, or Rashford at some point, then you're going to see that happen. And God forbid we get an injury to Mason or something as well, then we are really in the territories of having to stick Chong up there or whatever. So I think that in one way, it would make sense to keep hold of Alexis Sanchez. I know Ole Gunnar in his recent press conference for the Wolves game said that, but I truly don't think that he really believed that. I think that he just thought, I'm just trying to keep the harmony going at the club here. And if we don't end up selling Alexis Sanchez to Inter, if we cannot reach a financial agreement with them, then I don't want a completely upset player at the club. I don't want a player that we've created a rift with at the club to remain here and completely destroy the very stuff that I'm working to improve within the dressing room and squad harmony and things like that. So I think it's very clever from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to say what he said about Alexis and that he will feature and it could be an important player for us and all that jazz. Because I think that he's just saying that because in the instance that we don't reach an agreement with Inter or club for Alexis, then we have to keep hold of him and then we don't want any issues. He may actually be a useful player for us if he stays. Because at some point we're going to have to call on Alexis Sanchez. He does have skills, he does have qualities, he's a fantastic player. That's the shite thing. That was what has been horrible about United at the last couple of seasons, is that our big name players who have experience and have shown that they're amazing players in the past, like Lukaku, like Pogba, and like Sanchez, have just not performed. Really, not to the level that they should anyway. Not to the level that Manchester United requires and not to the level that they've shown previously in their careers. So it's kind of annoying that our big money signings, our marquee signings, our big players, our big money wage players have not worked out. We would hope that they would, but they haven't. So I don't think we should go down this route anymore, really. Anyway, thank you very much for your comment, though. I do think we have a very thin forward line. Maybe keeping hold of him till January would make sense, but me personally, my opinion right now, I would get rid of him because I just don't think you don't want this negativity in the squad, and I don't think Sanchez is the sort of player to ruffle players' feathers and all that sort of thing, and have a bitch and a moan. But if he's not happy, then that's going to rub off in some of the other squad, and also if he's being paid a lot of money, you just don't want that in your dressing room. It's another thing that you have to worry about, and I don't think that we need that right now. So yeah, I mean, I'd get rid of him now, but I can understand your point that maybe keeping him until January would make sense because of United's issues. But like I said, there are some other forwards out there that United could potentially go and sign as like a backup. I mean, here there's talks of. So yeah, it says Inter are also considering Tottenham striker Fernando Llorente, who's a free agent. So, I mean, there are some other players out there who could potentially come in and be a backup. Now, I'm not saying we should get Llorente, but I'd rather have Llorente on a much smaller amount of money and get Alexis Sanchez out of the club than keep Alexis Sanchez at the club and pay him 500k a week to do nothing, basically. So that's how I feel about it, and I can understand your point of view. Marek Stachowski, shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to Ian T, who comments he got a 5-year deal when he signed, so over 3 years left on his contract. Are you serious, Ian? Are you actually freaking serious? Are you freaking kidding me there, Ian? Is that actually true? Because that is disgusting if that's true, man. Because you're talking about a heinous amount of money there that is being sucked out of the club. Let's say it's 500k a week, okay? That's £2 million a month. That is freaking £24 million a freaking year, lad, going out of the club just on some twat's wages who's bloody useless. Eh? Is that right? Have I messed that up? No, it's not, is it? Yes, it is. It is. I think it is. Anyway, it's a shit ton of money is what I'm saying. It is a big amount of money to be going out of the club, and we just don't need that right now. We definitely could be using those resources much better, but I still think that Inter are not going to stump up anywhere near what we pay for him. George Mania comments, you spelt news wrong. That I did. That's actually for the Martians among us that tune in and that beam down and watch the Flying Pig United YouTube channel. That's how they spell news. So, you may think I misspelled it, but to Mickey Martian up there, he's having a good old time reading that. He knows exactly what this means. But thank you very much. Bernard says, yeah, that rap was sick. Big up the pig. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I am like the new Notorious P.I.G. or anything, or like the new 3-pack or anything. I am not. I'm just having a bit of fun. To be fair, when I was a teenager, me and my friends used to think we were going to be like the new freaking NWA or something, because we used to be in we used to have like a little rap group. We did used to make songs. We didn't ever perform or do anything like that. We just make songs, record songs, listen to songs, show our friends, and talk about it. So that's what I actually used to do when I was a teenager, and I used to play in a rock band and things like that as well. So it's not just hip hop that I like, but I like all music. But yeah. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of some of my interest to the channel, do a new series that is different to anybody else's on YouTube. So it's just like a preview video every single week, but a rap. Got a few interesting lines already for the Crystal Palace game, but we'll save that until it's all done. George Mania says, what time is it over there? I'm that Aussie guy. Good eye to you, mate. That was kind of like a weird Australian/Southern American accent. I can do that much better. G'day, mate. That's not a knife. This is a knife. I see you've played Knifey Spoony before. Anyway, guys, enough of the Aussie accent. The Mexican-American MUFC comments, hopefully he'll be out the door soon. If not, then he will definitely start a few games with the money he's on. Absolutely. And as one of the previous commenters said, it might actually make sense to keep hold of him right now because we do have a bit of a skeleton lineup up there. Any injury problems occur, we might be happy to have Alexis Sanchez around, but probably not. Not on 500k a week and not with the amount that he'll play, which is probably not very much because I don't think Ole Gunnar is going to upset the harmony that the squad is currently showing. And the players that he's selecting are kind of repaying the faith shown in him, aren't they? So, I don't think there's going to be much in terms of change of the squad. What we saw happen in pre-season, I think, will happen when you see youth players come in certain games. But I don't think Alexis Sanchez is really going to feature too much. You saw the same sort of thing going on with Lukaku in pre-season, didn't play. There was loads of speculation, loads of negotiations going on. Ole Gunnar said that he'd be happy if Lukaku stayed, but really he's just doing that in case he does stay. Anyway, to answer your question, it's actually 1:49 a.m. right now. I know these comments are I'm answering are a little bit old. It would probably make sense if I go down to the bottom of the chat, actually. So what's actually being displayed on the live chat on the video, everybody else can see. So if you've commented a question, I'm just going to skip down past all of them now. And I will read this one out from Mr. Zinn, who is super chatted in here. Comments, fan from Buffalo, New York. Keep it up, mate. Thank you very much, Mr. Zinn. Don't think I've ever seen you in here before, Zinny. But thank you very much for stopping by and showing a bit of support on the channel and having your say. So, yeah, fan from Buffalo, New York, very near Alex Rudd then. So, yeah, we've got a few New Yorkers in the house who are big Manchester United fans. So that's awesome that there's people tuning in from the Big Apple right now. I thought there'd be only a few handful of Americans tuning in right now because of the time. And I was kind of right, but I've also been surprised. There's a bunch of Aussies and there's a few other peeps in here, too. So thank you very much, Mr. Zinn, there for the super chat. Alex Rudd with a super chat too. Both the New Yorkers getting in here. Both the New Yorkers making that fat cash and dropping it on here. We know you New Yorkers are balling. Anyway, he comments, Spurs getting points is no good for anyone. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I know, but it's not. In terms of me getting one over on Henry Hotspur as well, I'd have loved it in a way if City did go on and win that game and nick it at the end there. But they didn't, and VAR ruled it out. I mean, they kind of did, but VAR's ruled it out. And and it's kind of farcical, but Spurs are lucky to get a point in that game in the end there. City were just a bit better. I mean, I was listening to it, I didn't watch the game, but it sounded like it was anything you can do, I can do better. City scored, Spurs got one back, City scored again, Spurs got one back, and then City scored, but they didn't score, it was ruled out. So they were unlucky, they really were from the sounds of it, Alex. And Spurs, I know what you're saying, nobody wants to see Spurs get any points, but me personally, I don't want to see City get any points either. Even though they're not realistically our direct rivals this season, because they're probably challenging for the title again, and United realistically are just looking to close that gap by as much as we can and get into the top four and fight it out with Arsenal for that top four space, if it's at all possible. Does anybody else just drink out of 3-litre bottles, by the way? Do you know what I mean? It's not really a normal done thing, is it? You usually pour it into a tumbler. Me, I just, you know, I've got these big bear claws, man. This is like a 2-litre bottle to me, or even a 1.5. So, yeah. Thank you very much for your comment anyway there, Alex Rudd. And he's also sent another one saying, Buffalo is closer to Canada than NYC. Crikey, well, I did not know that, mate. You learn something new every day, so it's like near Niagara Falls. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah? You see, you didn't think I'd have that geographical knowledge there, buddy. Maybe I don't. But yes, thank you very much. We've got a comment here from Steph Herringtonio H. Comments, have you been out on the Raz, or are you appeasing your American-Australian audience? Very clever of you. I do the same with my writing. Try to get those sexy American babes following. Well, that's I certainly don't think I'm going to pick up any sexy American babes, but, you know, I hope to be proven wrong. But no, actually, it's just because Alexis Sanchez is a potential move to Inter Milan. There's breaking news on Sky Sports at the moment about it, about representatives from Inter Milan being in the UK right now to discuss the transfer of Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United. So it's breaking news on Sky Sports. I thought I'd jump on, have a little bit of a chat about it, of course. But yeah, I guess we are sort of appeasing the American, the Australian audience. Good day to you guys. And also, what do Americans say to each other? Dunno. They just go hello, don't they? Hi guys, it's the Flying Pig. Hey dudes, my name's Steve-O. Just tuning in right now. Alright, enough of that. Ryan Lim comments, hey pig, so when are you going to have the 100 burger challenge? I don't know, okay. It's a bit of a bold statement, isn't it, to try and really do that. But I do feel like doing something a bit crazy on this channel sometimes. So you might see some eating challenges. Like I say, I'm basically a professional eater anyway. Super chat, another super chat from Mr. Zinn. comments, Niagara Falls is 20 minutes drive from my house. So there you go. What did I say? Nobody expected this English dude to have that sort of geographical knowledge of New York. Upstate New York. Is that a thing? Anyway, thank you very much for your support and comment on the channel there, Mr. Zin. Nice to see you giving another one there. Miles Price comments, I swear you used to be okay with Goldbridge like 3 years ago. What happened? I mean, there's been a bit of an interesting history there. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but it's back and forth. It's up and down. But you know, fair play to the man. You know, if that's what they want to do. But the points I made in my previous video. By the way, when we were talking about that on the podcast, I know I released it as a separate video because I thought it was very, very appropriate at the time, and more so with the other channel I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, it's really just a case of flooding the bloody market on YouTube with a whole bunch of clickbait stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it again because I'm trying to just stop all that sort of negativity on the channel. But what I said in that video is actually true. So you can say what you want, but it's actually true anyway. The Music Fiend comments, get Alexis to Inter, 100%. That's what needs to be done. Hope it happens. Hopefully the clubs can reach an agreement. Alex Rod says, good night is what we say. Well, it does make sense, doesn't it? Seeing as you are speaking a messed up version of the English language that you would steal our very well-loved known phrase, good night. It does make sense. Comment from Steph, Woodstock was upstate New York. Yes, that's right, my friend, or my love, in fact, if you called Steph. So probably not my love, that's a bit sinister, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, love. Yeah, Woodstock, awesome. Festival, Jimi Hendrix, stuff like that. Pretty cool, back in the day. 1969, I think it was. I don't know. Could be wrong. I wasn't alive. Mr. E comments, I loved the golf video you did in the 60s. What? I don't know what you're talking about there, buddy. Are you making reference to the golf video me and Henry made once? Because there is actually a video on my channel of me and Henry playing golf. Just search like worst golf ever, flying pig or something. You'll find it. It's a shite video. But anyway, probably not what you're talking about. James Mosscrop, how are you doing? Good to see you in here. He comments, how are you? I'm fantastic, James. I'm pretty tired now, going to bed soon. But of course, there was some news breaking about Alexis Sanchez, so I wanted to jump on here and just talk about it for 10 minutes. And now I've just realised we've been chatting for 41 bloody minutes, lads and lasses. What is going on here? Why do I find it impossible just to stop talking absolute cod? Probably because you bunch of legends are in here talking cod back to me. That's why. Marco comments it's 420 somewhere. It's 420 everywhere, buddy. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not. Steph Harrington says, what is sinister about love? Nothing is sinister about love. It's just the way that I said it. When I heard it back in my head, coming out of my mouth, it sounded more sinister than I intended it to be anyway. That's all that I meant. Sorry, I just read Rolf Harris's comment there. That's messed up. Anyway, right, guys and gals, I'm basically going to wrap this one up now. Like I said, I was just going to pop on here for 10 minutes before bed. It's now 2 a.m. Crikey malikey. Do us a favour before you go, though. Smash a like on this video. I hope I've responded to you. I tried to respond to everybody who I could see commenting. Kaz Raymond asked, what are you drinking? It's actually just a bit of R Whites. You know what I mean? Unless you're in the UK and unless you buy budget drinks, you're probably not going to know what an R Whites is, but it's a bit of premium diet lemonade. The premium is probably a bit of a play on words, to be honest with you, but it wets the gullet. It wets the gullet a good un. It's fine. Alex King comments, are you watching the UFC tonight? I will be if I can stay awake, my friend. I will be if I can stay awake. I'm very, very tired. I probably won't be able to stay awake, but if I am awake, I will actually be doing a live stream for it. I might as well. So keep a lookout there, but chances are it's a 50-50 thing right now. But if I am awake watching it, I'll jump on here and watch it along with you guys. Probably just the last few fights. But chances are I'll be asleep. I'll have passed out and I will have to watch it and catch up in the morning. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for tuning in for the live stream. Just a couple of shout outs at the end here. Steph Harrington, thank you for getting involved. Alex King, Mr. E, Mr. Blake, Miles Price, Ryan Lim. All you guys, thanks for tuning in and getting involved. Ryan says, you secretly not downing the vodka. No, I like to ingest vodka through the eyeball, personally. No, I'm not a big drinker, to be honest with you. You know, it's 420 everywhere, but I'm not a big drinker because it is just simply I don't know. I enjoy a drink every now and then, but I haven't had a drink for about 2 months or so since me and Henry went to that festival. I only drank then because I went to a bloody festival and you basically got a bloody drink anyway. So that's the only reason. Not a big drinker is what I'm trying to say. It's just lemonade. I'm not slurring my words too much. It's just because I'm tired. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I've chatted just a little bit too much, COD, for even my own liking. But everybody else who has tuned in and watched this video, thanks for stopping by and making it what it is by getting involved in the comment section and asking these comments. Much appreciated to everybody who takes the time to get involved. If I have somehow missed your comment, Gaz Newton, shout out to you. If I have somehow missed your comments, then I apologise, but do comment after this video has finished in the not live comments and I'll respond to you in due course. Anybody who's watching this video later, thank you very much for watching this after the fact and also sticking around until the end. Let me know your thoughts on Alexis Sanchez to Inter Milan. Let me know how realistic you think it is. Let me know what sort of amount you think Inter Milan are going to pay for Alexis Sanchez. Get your thoughts and opinions in. I'm still mesmerised that there's a whole bunch of people tuning in at this time of the night. So thanks everybody who's tuned in. Get yourself some sleep. Get yourself a little bit of Horlicks or some cocoa, whatever it is that you may like to ingest before bed. Me personally, I don't ingest anything before bed. Chocolate, actually. Chocolate. But other than that, just water. I'll see you soon. That's not strictly true, is it? Let's be honest. I'm drinking freaking diet lemonade right now. Right, I'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy. Have yourselves a good one. Smash a like on it. Subscribe. Get your opinions in on Alexis Sanchez in the comment section below. I'll see you very, very soon. I'm going to try and do a Q&A Sunday video tomorrow as well. I am working in the evening, but I'm definitely going to start making a Q&A Sunday video tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it on before I start work. If not, it may get pushed back until the late night or possibly Monday. But there will be one coming, so you can always tweet me at Mr. Flying Pig HD using the hashtag #AskThePig. Get rid of Bruno Mars from the club. It's about time Alexis Sanchez departed. He's been a 500k a week mess since he joined. It's ridiculous. There's way too much length left on his contract as well. It'd be great to get him off the books, even if we do have to pay a percentage of that. I think it would benefit the whole squad in general. Thanks for stopping by on the channel. This is the Flying Pig. Have yourselves a good one. Thanks for tuning in at this hour of all hours. I'll see you soon. I will definitely be doing a live stream for the Wolves game on Monday night as well, so tune in for that. Come and join and watch the game along with me on Monday against Wolves. Watch my wrap preview video if you've not seen that to hype yourself and pump yourself up for the game. Come on, United. Right, I'll see you soon. This is the Pig. Have yourselves a good one and take it easy. Peace.